Alright, looks like we're off. So, as I said, there is normally at a top level a wheel mix here, but we're not going to see Thomas going for that, and we're not going to see Darksol going for it either. Alright, so this is really interesting. This is probably the highest level matchup that we would see where neither runner goes for wheel mix. I didn't even think about that. Ooh, Darksol takes a hit, unfortunately. So Thomas is probably going to be slightly ahead coming out of the stage. But yeah, that factor that normally determines the early game lead doesn't actually apply to either of these runners. So this is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to see some fairly optimized World 1 movement from these guys. And Darksol, she unfortunately got a bad goal game. The goal games, you have a 3-frame window to hit it to end up on the 7 cloud. And if you hit it on the first frame, that's the best. Second, you go a little higher and lose a tiny bit of time. Third frame, you go even higher and lose a little bit more time. But as long as you get one of those 3, generally, you're fine. Darksol was 1 frame after that, unfortunately, and so she got a cloud grab. Both of them making their way through 1-2 now. Ooh, Thomas with a pretty clean triple jump. Darksol barely misses it, and ooh, that was pretty close, avoiding that hothead. She almost got sniped. And so we're seeing Thomas pull ahead by just a little bit, with some slightly cleaner movement. Oh, and another cloud grab 6 from Darksol. Unfortunate. Those are going to add up over the course of the race if she can't get the timing down. Alright, switching over to Thomas's audio now. Ooh, that hothead tried to snipe him right at the beginning. Whether you have wheel or burning there. Ooh, Darksol takes a hit. She's only at 1 health. Actually, switching focus over here for a second. This is going to be kind of tricky to get through. Is she going to go for this tomato? Oh, she gets sniped by that hothead. That's very unfortunate. Taking a death in World 1. So that's going to be a pretty big deficit to come back from. As I was saying, though, the hotheads in that room are very dangerous, and once you enter the room, it's important to use your ability right away, or else you might get sniped by that hothead. And we have a very specific burning pattern to get through the rest of that room to make sure that the hothead at the end doesn't snipe you. I think Darksol is probably going for that Maxim Tomato, and so she strayed off the path and ended up getting sniped. Wow, just a very unfortunate start all the way around. But now shifted focus back over to Thomas. He's entering Wispy Woods, the first boss of the game. This boss is not too fast with burning, but we take burning through here because it's much faster for movement in the stages both before and after. If we want to do this faster, we could actually take NIDL and just absolutely shred Wispy Woods, but we would be moving so much slower in the other stages that we'd actually lose quite a bit of time overall. Don't say that, Darksol. You can still come back from this. There's always UFO mix, if nothing else. And Darksol's on Wispy too. Thomas gets bad RNG from Tornado Joe, as we call him. The bad RNG loses only like a second though, so it's not that big of a deal. You just have to wait for him to spin for a second. Oop, Darksol slightly messed up the burning pattern there, ended up a little bit further forward than she meant to. Alright, now ends the stretch where we keep burning. Thomas is going to drop it off and try to combine it with another ability for a double star to one-hit this mini-boss. They both did that in 1-2 as well, I just skipped over it in commentary. Thomas gets it nicely and picks up Wheel. This is the first time we're seeing Wheel. It is the fastest horizontal movement ability in the game, and so we see it used quite a bit throughout this run. The 2 other main abilities, I suppose, would be High Jump, which is good for boss fights and has the highest vertical movement, and Ball, which has the highest damage output in the game. We do see a number of other abilities used for things like Spark, since that's pretty good at beating bosses. And Darksol's going to go for the double star. She gets the slightly easier, slightly slower triple jump setup instead of the double jump, which I believe Thomas got double jump. Ooh, threading the needle a little bit on this fish room. But these fishes actually have smaller hitboxes than it looks like they do, so that is possible to make it through without taking a hit. Gonna intentionally damage boost into here so that he can do this first arena powerless. These Meta Knight arenas, we generally want to suck and spit these guys at each other because with most abilities they take quite a few hits to kill. Why is ball a main one if we use it twice? It's used significantly more than twice. Like, at least... You pick it up at least, like, 4 times, and you use it for a decent stretch each time. Because you pick it up in 5-2, then you use it for 5-4 and 5-5, and then you use it again in 7-1, and then again for the final boss. Well, the second last boss, I guess. Darksol's in the arena herself. Meanwhile, Thomas is showing us how strong Spark is, jumping right before that last hit of TikTok to hit him on the way up and save a little bit of time on floating. Darksol with another 6 on the goal game. Alright, and Thomas making his way into 2-5. There's a more advanced strat where we actually keep the wheel from 2-2 through that Meta Knight's arena in 2-3, and that route converges with this one in this stage because we pick up wheel anyway right in this room. There's a lot of rooms in this game that are very clearly designed for a specific ability, and the ones especially that are designed for wheel and high jump, we actually go through them the intended way, just because they are that much better than everything else there. Darksol with another Cloud Grab 6. Really unfortunate goal games. And those are all going to add up. Thomas there with a frame perfect one. I'm not sure how much a frame perfect one saves over a Cloud Grab, but I know that the Cloud Grabs in particular lose quite a bit of extra time. Now Thomas is on our second boss, Paint Roller. You have to stand really close to Paint Roller to get all the damage on him, and it's pretty difficult to do. He had a really good fight there. Great spacing. That's some really tight spacing. If you're too far away, you don't actually do as much damage to him. It takes too long to kill him, and if you're too close, you get hit. It's also random which of the other 3 corners he goes to from the one he starts in. Unfortunately, bottom left is the slowest, so that was bad RNG, but still a good fight. Got another mini-boss here that we get to shred with high jump. Oh, he gave a weird pattern to Thomas. Normally he starts walking forward. Occasionally he'll just jump in place or go backward, and he got the backward pattern there, so that was a little bit strange. Now Thomas is entering the first switch room, which is the divergence away from any percent. We need to collect all these switches, starting with this 3-1 switch, to get 100%. So if either of these runners forget a switch, then they'll have to go back into the stage after and get it. That has happened a couple of times this tourney already, so it's definitely not out of the question. But hopefully they can remember which category they're doing and not forget anything. Thomas making his way through 3-2. This stage is pretty infamous for the mini-boss at the end, Bugsy. There's 2 main strats for attacking him, and one is keeping high jump through, and the other is the older strat that most runners still go for, and that's sword. So we're going to see Thomas going for a sword kill. A lot of runners who have been learning the game recently actually have said that high jump is easier, but as the traditional strat, most of the older runners believe that sword is easier. Thomas with a decent fight. Not the fastest, but he didn't get hit or grabbed at all. which is really the most important part. And he's less than a full stage ahead, since Darksol's in the same one. Gets good RNG from that Waddle Doo. I didn't see what Thomas got, but he made it through fine. So the reason that dropping high jump for sword is actually viable is because there is a high jump enemy pretty much immediately in the next stage. So you don't really lose too much time at all not having high jump. Still's on Bugsy. And she gets through without taking a hit either. That's important. She didn't gain any time over Thomas. Oh, interesting. She actually chose to drop sword a little bit earlier than normal. And another 6. Darksol, in all of her races that I've seen so far, has been pretty consistent at getting 6s, which is kind of funny, especially considering that 7 is the one that we want to aim for. Thomas in this arena, which I believe is the only one now that we don't go powerless, and he does a pretty excellent job getting through it. Oop. Slips up movement there a little bit, but he knows how to deal with that Kabu if he messes it up. Alright, and grabbing the invincibility candy for the second time this run to get through this stage. The candy in this game doesn't actually do damage to mid-bosses, so all of the damage that he's getting from this is actually from high jump. It's a pretty lenient timer, but getting through that stage quick enough to be able to do that whole fight while you're still invincible is important, because it's super easy to just stand inside of him and spam high jumps. But if you screw up the movement, it becomes a little bit harder since you actually have to space it. Oh, Thomas misses the early kill on that Crash Bomber. The KO Boomer, as it's now being called. Thomas waiting down this fog room. These rooms are, in my opinion, the only negative change from Kirby's Adventure to this game. They had a really cool rotating building rooms in this world, and they just replaced them with rooms that have fog, and you just have to wait for the fog instead of spinning the building around. But everything else about this is better than the original. Don't get it mixed up. So Thomas went ahead and grabbed the second switch there, and he is moving along to the end of this stage. He's going to follow it up with the boss fight of the world, Mr. Shine and Mr. Bright. Meanwhile, Darksol nails KO Boomer, gonna save those couple seconds over Thomas, who missed it. Now, it's random which of these comes up first. A lot of runners like to guess which side it's on and make a pretty big deal about which one they guess, or if they don't guess. Thomas is a proud Moon Crew member, which is the correct choice, and he gets it right this race too, so he's gonna save that time. Okay, maybe UFO is more fun in KA. I'll give it that. Tornado, though? I don't know. I like Tornado in this game, too. It's definitely more OP, but I don't know if that makes it a more fun ability. Speaking of UFO, Thomas just killed a couple of them in that UFO room. There was an old strat that a couple of runners still do, where you pick up UFO there and take it through this room. But we found out that it's slightly slower than just keeping high jump all the way through. Now there's a mix opportunity in this next room for Thomas that most runners go for. Darksol, as a member of Sun Gang, gets her guess wrong, so that'll just go to show you which one's right. Thomas goes for the wheel mix and nails it. Wheel mix opportunity. Who would have thought? There are a lot of those in this game. The 4-1 mix has been around for a little while though, so we do see most of the runners in this tourney going for it nowadays. However, there is a much newer wheel mix at the very end of this stage that most of the runners do not go for, and so I doubt that we'll see it from either of these. I'd be very surprised. Oop. Thomas jumps into the spikes, loses wheel slightly early. I think that wasn't intentional. If it was, I don't think it's any faster, but either way, it doesn't matter because we grab Spark to beat these poppies. Now, he actually killed them both on the right side, which is the setup for the new mix at the end of 4-2 there, but again, that's a very new strat and very difficult. I think only... Actually, I don't know if Wakaza went for it, so either 3 or 4 runners go for it. Wakaza did it in world record. Okay, so 4 runners go for it then. Thomas, go ahead and grab the switch here. This stage is pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's some nice looking movement through that room. I don't know if it still is, but this one has been just a classic commentary trivia for this game, is that most runners say that 4-3 is their favorite stage, or at least 4-3 is the most commonly picked stage as someone's favorite. Not sure how true that still is, but it's a well-liked stage either way. Thomas misses the goal game, unfortunately. Cloud grab 7. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Oh, Thomas is actually going for the wheel mix here. Oh, he gets hammered. That's 1 late. Unfortunate. That mix only saves about 3 seconds. It was thought that it saved a little bit more time when we first found it, and most runners have completely stopped going for it, especially the ones who have switched over to the new 4-2 mix. So that is a rare mix that won't see happen too often anymore. Gonna grab Spark here to fight Fan. Now, the old strat was to actually take Throw from Fan and use it in this next room, and then keep it all the way through the arena in the next stage. But Sniper decided to come up with a new powerless strat for the arena that's actually a little bit faster than the Throw strat was, so grabbing Throw has been obsoleted. We did see Throw strats in this tourney, though, from some runners who have been out of the loop lately, so it's always interesting to see what strats runners know about and decide to go for in these tourneys. And here's the arena in question. Let's see if Thomas can get this strat. This arena can be a little bit annoying because the cloud platforms have very weird collision on them, but Thomas does a great job with that arena. Oh, Darksol actually opting to slide through instead of sparking those. That actually was really clean. I like that. I haven't seen anyone do that before. Alright, so Thomas is in 4-6, which is traditionally a pretty annoying stage. However, it does have the easiest switch to get in the game. Gonna grab Sword here for this TikTok fight, which messes quite a few people up. This is one of the worst rooms to die in the game, since you're forced to do TikTok powerless if you miss it. And the easiest switch in the game. You're meant to grab light and use it to light up the room so you can see the switch, but as long as you know where it is, you don't actually need to use the ability to get to it. Thomas gonna go ahead and grab high jump here for use on Krako. Krako's an interesting boss just because he has this long climb up to him. Most bosses don't have a section like this and just drop you straight into the fight. I guess Wispy has a short little one at the beginning, but nothing nearly as significant as this. Thomas going for the double hit strat here, which is the traditional one, generally considered a little bit more easy. It's a pretty solid fight. There is a strategy that uses 6 single hits to beat him instead, but that one is... it was discovered it wasn't even that recent anymore, but much more recently than the double hit strat, and it's generally considered harder. Well, okay, discovered in 2007, but not brought into the speedrunning community until Marsh came along and did that for us. We were not aware of it before that. Okay, Rox is catching me on all the technicalities. We technically knew it because it was in Mug's task that we knew about. Darksol actually went for the single hit strat there. I did not expect that. It wasn't a perfect fight, but it was pretty solid, actually. Managed to not get hit. Now, Thomas is in 5-2. He went ahead and grabbed Ball, which casually most people probably ignored because it has some very strange controls that are hard to figure out, but as we'll be able to show, it actually has a lot of really interesting movement quirks and has the ability to absolutely shred bosses and mini-bosses. He's going to be able to take out Bonkers in just 2 hits. Unfortunately, gets unlucky. Bonkers walks forward. When am I submitting my 39? I just got it before this race started, Rox. Give me a break. Thomas is in 5-3, which is one of my personal favorite stages in the game. It starts off with the section extremely clearly designed for high jump, and follows up with one extremely clearly designed for wheel. So we get to take 2 of the best abilities in the game in a row. Oop! Thomas kills the first one. Doesn't matter, because it gives you plenty of opportunities to grab wheel. It really wants to make sure you have it for this section. Oh no! Thomas actually missed a cancel there and lost wheel. That loses a decent amount of time, since you have to just run through the rest of this powerless. And he's gonna have to do Spike Shaft here powerless. This is apparently designed for Parasol, but it really does not even work with Parasol. There is a way to do it with wheel that hopefully we'll see Darksol do. It's fairly difficult, but it looks really cool when you get it. So Thomas entering 5-4 as Darksol enters 5-3, still just a stage apart. After that unfortunate World 1 from Darksol, it's actually stayed pretty close. Thomas flubbing the burning movement just a little bit. Not enough to get him hit. Ooh, that was a very shaky looking triple. That's a strat that saves a little bit of time, and if you miss it, you land on the spikes and your ability gets destroyed. Thomas grabbing ball here. Should be going for ball swag. Yes, he is. Ooh, the full-on triple. Beautiful. Good stuff from Thomas. And Darksol makes it through the spike shaft. If Thomas didn't go for it, he would have banned him from tourney. I don't think Darksol will go for it. She said she's having a lot of problems with it and was dying to it fairly frequently in her attempts, so she said that she might just switch over to the puff strat. Just Thomas, okay. Thomas is the only one who has to go for it. I know some runners do get nervous in race settings like this and decide to bail on the strat. Ooh, Thomas with some nice movement into the switch room here. Okay, he takes that a little bit slow. Sometimes, if you go a little bit too fast, it's really easy to accidentally screw that up in some way, such as inhaling one of those star blocks instead of the high jump enemy. And that's really annoying because you have to go reset the room and you lose a decent chunk of time having to relight the fuse after that. So now we move on to the Fire Lion fight. In this room, actually, we discovered that there are actually 2 copies of this room. And if after you finish the room, you go back in, beat Fire Lion, and you go back to the beginning of the room, there's a secret 1-up hiding there. So that's something that probably almost no one has gotten before. Oh, Thomas goes for the wheel mix there, but he accidentally gets hammer. That, once again, is 1 late. Very close. That is almost totally for swag. That barely saves any time. It does technically save time, but it is not a required mix at all. Ooh, Thomas messing up the movement here. Goes ahead and takes an early hammer grab. That room is actually deceptively difficult to get a hammer mix in, because once you go through one of those platforms, you can't drop back through it. So if you get to the end of the room and you run out of enemies to inhale, there's actually no way to get the switch in the stage, so you have to soft reset your game and start the stage over. So messing up the movement there can be a little bit scary. I definitely agree with the decision to take that early mix instead of continuing to go for one of the later ones. Darksol does not go for the wheel mix, so she'll actually be saving a little bit of time over Thomas there. Let's see where Darksol decides to mix hammer here, because I've seen actually a lot of different ways to get through this room. Okay, she goes ahead and takes a fairly early one. Some people just try to take it at the very beginning, which I think is actually more difficult than doing the regular way. I take it at the very end, which has screwed me over a few times. Thomas kills Heavy Bull with, like, almost every single reverse hit. That was a pretty swag kill right there. But he's going to move on to World 6. He did get good luck from Heavy Bull, by the way. He can randomly just swing his lower arm out and smack you, and there's not really anything you can do about it. Oh, taking a hit in the water and losing hammer. That's actually pretty significant, because we normally want to keep hammer through here for the switch. But fortunately, you can go for a mix here for either wheel or hammer. Thomas goes for the slightly faster wheel mix. Actually, Drop's wheel is going to take the regular burning path through the rest of the stage, though. Probably smart not to mess with the wheel movement in this last room if you don't know what you're doing. This room is traditionally very difficult to get through. Makes it through pretty nicely with burning, though. And Darksol finishes up Heavy Bull. So once again, they are still not that far apart, just about a stage. And we're getting pretty close to 6-3, which has the infamous UFO mix. And that can really change the course of the run. Oh, Darksol unfortunately gets hit early and loses hammer. So Thomas grabbing burning here. He's going to take it through this last room. Some people grab tornado, especially those that are familiar with the tornado any percent route. But burning is a little bit faster, and potentially more familiar to those who know the wheel route. Oops. Alright, so Thomas here going for UFO mix. This is the hardest mix in the game, and it saves 15 seconds over casual strats and 100%. Let's see if he can get it. Oh, he gets throw. That's one early. And we're likely going to see any runners go for it and miss it, just continue trying until they get it, because it's such a significant time save once you hit it. Oh, he gets throw again!
It's 15 seconds over going for Spark.
Rox is here.
I am here. I don't know why. I'm bored.
So, Thomas finally pulls off the UFO mix.
Darksol, sticking with Tornado. This was like the olden strat of any percent. Took over the game. We used to use Tornado, but then we figured out Burning is actually faster, and then we figured out Wheel is faster. But Tornado is still pretty fast, especially because you're only going to like a level and a half, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yep, so let's see what Darksol opts for here. She is going for the UFO mix as well. Oh, first try! So that's actually going to make a decent bit of time over Thomas, who got it third try, I believe. Oh, takes a hit there on Bonkers, unfortunate. Yeah, Thomas's run was on PB pace until 6-3. He's been really consistently good in these tournament races. I think both of his first two races he actually PB'd in.
He did, yeah. I'm pretty sure. He was supposed to get the 43 this run, but...
Yeah, he was... You know, if his pattern continued, this run would have been the 43, but after that 6-3, it's not looking super likely.
That means he would have gotten a world record in 3 races.
Yeah.
He would have gotten a 40. He would have beat Demo. Please get a 42 against Demo, Thomas. Yeah, the winner of this matchup plays Demolition 141414141. Yeah, so that's yeah. And the winner of that plays me. And I don't want to face Demo, because Demo's really good. And I want to win, because it's my own tournament. It'd be sad if I didn't at least beat Demo. Because I'm the reason Demo joined the tourney.
I'm sorry to say, but my bracket prediction has Demo beating you.
Everyone's bracket prediction has Demo beating me, except for mine. I have mine beating MK though, so it's, yeah. I have mine winning everything. Just because I wanted to prove Race Rocks was dead. And he is dead, but like, the family exists, so.
So, unfortunately, while Rox was talking about himself, we actually missed Thomas going through the nut shack. So we're gonna have to get Darksol doing that.
Because well, I wasn't even here for the high flying gravity find in the Rox Ball, so it's not like it matters. It's also hundo. So.
It's hundo.
But you can still do it. Just doesn't save any time. That's the nut shack.
And Darksol is in the nut shack.
And Thomas is going for not burning mix. He's just gonna go for fire here. You can do burning mix there. It saves like 3 seconds. Yeah, this is the horizontal nut shack. I came up with that name. Yeah, Chooch came up with the regular nut shack. Because the vertical one looks more like a shack, really. Because the shack really isn't like that wide horizontally, but it can be pretty tall if you think about it. So the next level is 6-6, and this level is notoriously annoying for just being annoying.
Yeah, this is one of the most difficult stages in the game. It's also very, very long.
And very, very random.
I think, does Thomas go for a double star or UFO?
He goes for that, yeah, the double star.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
he used my double star setup.
Yeah. It's not yours.
Yeah, it is.
Just because you do it doesn't mean it's yours.
Well, you have claimed so many strats, so the one that I did first, I don't get to claim?
You did that one first? I did not think you did that one first. I thought Susie did that.
Yeah, I made it up. I don't know if Susie did it, but I made it up. I didn't take it from anyone.
Alright, I mean...
Anyway, Thomas is in the UFO room, just gonna spam lasers through here. The UFOs have a set spawn position, but it's random how they move once they spawn, so it's easy to get screwed over in that room. Thomas gets hit twice, which is pretty annoying, but he still makes it through with UFO, which is fine. Because you just need any ability here to basically guarantee that you can get a double star on these guys. There's still a very rare pattern where they both stall. Darksol going
having
for
a
a
little rough RNG
slower
here.
double star setup. Oh, she misses a double star.
She missed the double star twice. She's gonna go for UFO.
She's gonna grab UFO.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, UFO breaks double, or the silver blacks we saw on 6-3, so it makes it very viable. It's still pretty slow though. Tom's. Oh, never mind. I'm an idiot.
Thomas having a little bit of trouble with that arena. He's only at 2 health, so we might see him take a soft reset to refill
I'm
his health
surprised
for tonight.
Thomas doesn't play on the Japanese version, considering he's on emulator.
Okay, he does soft reset for a second. I was worried that he wasn't going to because he did it pretty late. Darksol fat Kirbying through the UFO room. Works out pretty well for her, actually. Pretty good bet tonight. Only 1 block.
Yeah. That's just not smart on Thomas. This is like literally like that's free time loss.
He is pure.
No, he's not. He lives on MU.
He's trying to be pure. He doesn't have access to a console, so forgive him.
But he can. Japanese is still pure. It's just cheating.
That is the opposite of pure.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I'll look up opposite of pure and we'll see what we get.
Oh, Thomas accidentally puffs his sword and kills it, so he's gonna have to slide through this section.
Okay, so I looked up the opposite of pure, and the first thing that comes up is impure.
Yeah. Cheating falls under impure. But here, Thomas is gonna mash his face against the wall with burning to get up to those metal blocks in order to break them for that switch. That's a very awkward switch to get. Definitely one of the most annoying.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, Thomas gets
got
frozen! Trying to go for a ball swag, and he's gonna have to redo ball mix! Oh, that's unfortunate. Darksol entering 7-1 meanwhile. Oh! He messes up again!
Ball mix again!
He's only got 1 more shot at it.
Yeah. Then he has to restart the level.
Yeah, this is Darksol's chance. Okay, he gets it. But Darksol made up a lot of time there. He's still going for the ball swag. He got hit again, but at least he didn't get frozen, so... Alright, well, he's gonna be entering 7-2 now. Darksol's struggling a little bit in 7-1 meanwhile.
I wouldn't say struggling. It's kind of difficult to get the burning where you want the burning to be burning. So you just have the burning where you have to burning just to burn where you want to burn.
That didn't make any sense at all. Thomas is on 7-2. He gets a good bonkers fight. Oh, double stall into apple. Rough fan pattern. Looks like... Yep, he makes it through without taking a hit, though. Let's see... Okay, Bugsy gives him a good pattern, and that should be all he needs to get through 7-2. Messes up Firelion just a little bit, but he's fine. Darksol also on 7-2. Makes it through bonkers just fine.
Thomas, that's incredibly rude.
Thomas is being a little bit mean in chat.
Darksol
gets hit by Fan and hit by the corpse. Didn't get grabbed though, so not the worst.
Yeah, no, Bugsy, giving a jump. You want to see a jump?
Oh, she actually... Oh, that's, you can actually get a ball hit on a jump. She got a little bit scared, I think, though, and backed away.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a really rough 7-2.
Oh, how did that not hit?
Oh, what?
The ball, you can get hit if you're, like, the only place you can get hit is at the very peak and at the very bottom. So she must have been at the very peak of her jump. So
yeah, Bugsy just barely clipped her there. Yeah, she's going to take this really safe.
That's smart. Okay, because if she spit that ball star out at her, if she spit that ball star out at Firelion, she would not have killed Firelion. Firelion would have been at 1 HP. I learned this literally today when that happened to Pro Hybrid.
Yep, I think she probably knew that, and that's why she decided to re-inhale ball.
That was really smart. Do double stars do more damage than 2 single stars, or are they the same?
Double stars definitely do more. I think, at least. I know they do the same in KDL too.
But that's KDL too. So
yeah,
like,
and I was surprised that they did because I was used to them doing more.
okay. So you could theoretically get a double star and it would still be the same. As long as it does more than 0.99
Darksol sliding around in that ice block room.
Thomas, not getting Sparky baited. Not going for UFO mix either. Kind of disappointed in him.
Yeah, the other UFO mix that is just as hard and without the added benefit of saving any time at all.
It saves a half second if you get perfect RNG and you're a task.
Yep.
And the chances of getting perfect RNG are pretty low. This really sucks. You can also mix for wheel there, and that might save time. No one's tested it though, because we're all lazy.
We kind of tested it, and it probably saves time, but no one wants to do it because it's hard.
It's not hard!
Then you do it.
But I don't know if it saves time!
It probably does.
But it might not!
It is still only a stage difference.
That's true, and we have the wind tunnel coming up next, which is everyone's favorite room in the game.
I don't remember seeing Thomas die on it before, but I really don't want to curse him. I hope I didn't just curse him. Ah. Okay, no, he's fine. Good.
Okay, he won't die in the wind tunnel, but he might die in KDL. So the next level is actually a completely different game. It's Kirby's Dream Land 1, the worst one.
But it is a better version of it.
It is.
Except
Because it's
for
shorter.
Mikado.
Yeah, besides the copy kind of sucks. And also, the part that it is an extra mode. That's really nice. If you ever want to make Thomas mad, just say how extra mode is garbage. And boom, congratulations. You made Thomas mad.
That's true.
Because extra mode is garbage.
He's gonna be making his way through with wheel here.
This is the worst room in the game.
Yeah, this stream sucks. Ooh, bad RNG from that Kabu. He's gonna go ahead and actually back all the way up to make sure that he kills that Kabu.
I don't think that was necessary.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't necessary. But
I don't think it was intentional. I think that he just accidentally did that.
That
like,
looked intentional to me. I think he just really wanted to make sure he killed it. Darksol, meanwhile, barely scrapes through that wind tunnel. That's pretty close. Thomas gonna go for ball mix real quick here for the final boss, and hopefully he remembers the final switch.
Oh, he remembered.
Yeah, he remembered. Okay. He has been known to forget that one.
I was really hoping he would.
That would have made this race a lot more interesting.
It would have, and also would have mean Darksol would have won.
Yeah, Darksol probably would have won. There's not really much.
Which also means
to come back by that much at this
Thomas
point.
would get instant karma'd.
What in the world is Thomas doing? This is a weird DDD setup. He gets
Thomas
sucked for it. That was strange.
Yeah, so Thomas is gonna be heading to
Oh, Darksol
loses
wheels
there.
early and loses
Not
it
gonna be
there.
going for the maximum tomato. She should be fine. At this room, you're almost guaranteed to get hidden, unless you
Unless you do that.
Wow.
What a legend. I actually didn't even know you could do that. That was sick. Good
I didn't
job,
know there
Darksol.
was a good backup for that. Yeah, I just kind of.
Well, and she is the former powerless world record holder,
This
as I
is
said at
true.
the beginning of this.
This is
So
true.
she knows the strats for powerless.
She also
in every part
won.
of the
She's
game.
also very good at Kirby's Dream Land 1. Getting tornado. Just gonna reset the mix. This is actually faster than going back from 7-4.
Yep, Thomas has a pretty solid orb, only getting hit once, getting chargeless. Darksol going to the moon, and Thomas entering Nightmare Wizard. So Nightmare's patterns are basically the same every time. We just have to get 6 hits on him. The only thing that's random are his spawn positions, and somewhat where he moves to, in terms of height at least. But generally, this is a pretty consistent fight. And since Thomas had a really good orb, he's not in danger of dying at all.
Well, you say that.
Yeah, he's not going to get hit 5 times.
You say that.
I'm
not going for early hit.
I absolutely say
my
that.
banner from the tournament.
That fourth hit is one of the hardest ones to hit. Fifth hit is also fairly difficult, so that's the next most likely one for him to miss.
All right, we can
Nails it though, and will he get early 6th?
No, but 45-0-10.
45-10. GG
Yeah.
to Thomas.
Good time. When did I come here? Like 7-1. That was like 6-3. Maybe 6-3, yeah.
Yeah, Rox joined in 6-3.
So we might be getting some interviews or something, I don't know.
Yep, and Darksol
I'm not
finished the board, also solid, chargeless, and only gets hit once. And let's see how her nightmare is. Thomas reset his timer already, also. It was 45-10.
Yeah, so Thomas is going to be facing the man, the myth, the leg. Demolition 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. Yeah. Darksol, unfortunately, her 20 run has came to an end. But still a really great showing from her. Like a 46 is not a time to sneeze at. It's a really good time.
Yeah, no, her PB is like a 46.01, and she took a death in World 1, so getting this close to PB means she actually had a really good run.
Yeah. Oh, I'm about to get familied.
Okay. And Darksol coming up with the last hit here.
Ooh,
barely misses that early hit.
Oh,
actually misses it entirely.
Oh, that kind of
stinks. But you get the second hit pattern again, which is pretty easy one to get. And 46-42 is going to be Darksol's final time. GG's to both runners. That was a really good race.
Yeah, within a minute.
But right about a minute and a half difference, which is also about the difference of their PVs. So that went pretty consistently.
Pretty as intended. Not intended, but like pretty as...
as expected.
As expected, yeah. That's what I'm looking for. So...
all according to the script.
All according to...
Rox has rigged this tournament from the start. He knows what times everyone's getting for every match.
Spoiler alert, I win. I don't win. I can guarantee I don't win. Yeah. I beat Jay though.
You did.
I know. I'm surprised.
Right.
Oh, hey Thomas.
Hey Thomas.
How do you feel about that run?
Yeah, I won PB taste till I miss UFO mix.
Yeah,
I just leading PB by a few seconds throughout the way, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Almost wasted 3 times it was.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just kind of frustrated that for that second one, and then I just not paying attention and missed the second time.
Oh, yeah, so basically missing 6-3 UFO and messing up 7-1 were the biggest time losses there. I also noticed though that do you know the DDD setup that the most of us use? Because you had a really weird one.
Yeah, I should know it. I don't know why I still play the old setup.
Okay, yeah, that was the only other thing I was wondering about.
Yeah, that always should be one of my best. And the 2-button match is definitely better than the single button when I doing it last year.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, that was a really good race. You guys stayed really close to each other after World 1. Because Darksol unfortunately died in 1-3.
Yeah, I know. That's definitely why having huge lead already in World 1.
Yeah, that pretty much decided the race, unfortunately. Because you guys both played pretty evenly for the entire rest of the race.
True, I did a best 7-1, but I see Darksol also lost in short there. So yeah, that's pretty even, except the next room.
Sorry about that, Darksol. I'm glad you didn't forfeit though, because that was a really fun race to watch anyway.
Of course.
So yeah, unfortunately that ended Darksol's run in this tournament. She takes 9th place, and Thomas moves on to top 8 losers to face Demo. That'll be fun. Demolition.
Yeah.
I am into Sycamore. I might actually have a chance with this one, Kappa.
Yeah, making mistakes like that against
Yeah, it's-
Demolition will not go well.
Yeah. And yeah, that mistakes like that make you want to die. As someone who's made those mistakes multiple times in races, it's not fun. I feel that.
Yeah.
But it happens.
So I'm guessing that Darksol doesn't feel like coming in for an interview after that, which is understandable.
Yeah.
GG's though, that was a good run.
Yeah. We don't really have any things scheduled for the tournament yet. The next deadline is going to be soon though. It's not going to be winners, but it's going to be losers. The next round of losers.
The PDB for 2020.
Yeah, but we're in the semifinals. No, we're. Oh wait, Cool and Wakaza need to schedule. Cool and Wakaza schedule. But yeah, we're heading into losers quarterfinals. No, you and Chooch. No, yeah, losers round 4. That's what it is. Losers round 4. So stay tuned for some more super exciting close matches.
Yep, the next 3 matches in some order are going to be Quill versus Wakaza, myself versus Chooch, and Thomas versus
Demolition
Demo.
1-4-1-4-1. What was the other matchup that was supposed to happen? Was that me versus MK? Why did me versus MK? We're so far ahead. What the heck?
I don't know, you just did it really early for some reason.
Just blame MK.
Okay, sure,
Okay.
I don't care.
Yeah, but if you want to see some more Speed Gaming action, you can head over to Speed Gaming 1, where we got the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament going on. We've got actually a Kirby runner, Sonny Wrath, participating in that. Who runs Kirby Superstar. That's cool. So yeah, go check that out.
Go ahead and follow the runners and
Oh, yeah.
commentators as well.
I guess you can follow me. I kind of commentated.
Yeah, you. Grox was also there at the end.
I was sort of there for some time. XRXC. Did you already do it?
I already did that.
I wasn't looking. I closed
Okay.
I closed the pop out chat as you
Nice.
yeah. Well, go follow them twice.
Alright,
yeah.
yeah.
Go follow
So-
Jay. Jay runs this game, but he might be retired soon.
No, I'm not retiring. I might take a break, but I just
Yeah,
PB'd
you're
tonight.
at 39.
I'm still in the tourney. I'm still going to be running
That's
at
true,
least
I
until the
forgot.
tourney's over.
You need to face Chooch. Okay, yeah, but thanks
yeah.
for
Unless
Thanks
you have
for-
anything else to say, Thomas, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah, shout out to Speed Gaming. Shout out to the community.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep, thanks to Speed
Okay.
Gaming, we're able to have this
And
tourney.
shout out to them for creating me to losing, of course.
Shouts to the amazing organizers of this tournament for organizing such a wonderful tournament. Um,
To them.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. And that's going to be it for us. So, signing
Bye.
off.